officials are in their seats, ready. The fighters are in their corners, ready. Detroit, Michigan, are you ready for your main event? It's time to throw down. Introducing your main event fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black and blue trunks trimmed in white. Standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, he weighed in at 293 pounds. He comes to the ring undefeated with a perfect record, 10 wins, no losses, and no draws, with all 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Flint, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, here is DeAndre Savage. His opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the black and orange trunks. Standing 6 feet 6 inches tall, he weighed in at 236.4 pounds. He comes to the ring with a record of 18 wins and only 1 loss, with 10 of those big wins coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of and representing Polk County, Florida, ladies and gentlemen, here is the reigning USBA heavyweight champion, Brandon O.J. Bam Moore. Referee Ansel Stewart with main event fight instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you received your instruction. We're going to have a good, clean, professional fight. Let's touch them up. Let's go at the belt.
Well, it's not often that you go into a fight in which both fighters are predicting an early knockout, but that's what we have here in our main event. Both Moore and Savage feel that they'll get the other out of there in less than 5 rounds.
Yeah, they've been very specific about that. And, you know, Raul made the excellent point that for Brandon Moore, it has to be done in maybe a more meticulous fashion of boxing to create that knockout.
Round 1 underway, our main event. Scheduled for 10 rounds. Brandon Moore in the black trunks trimmed with orange. DeAndre Savage in the blue trunks trimmed with black. And you see a slimmed down version of Brandon Moore coming in close to 30 pounds lighter than we saw him last time out against Stanley Wright.
Yeah, he wants to be fast on his feet. He wants to be moving, especially early on. He wants to use that jab and just let Savage run into that right hand. There's that right hand. He didn't run into it, but you know, he will, because he's going to have to apply pressure. Savage said this fight is not going past 6 rounds. We'll see, guys.
Brandon Moore looks like a different person. I mean, it's interesting, you know, that weight loss. And, you know, they said in his camp, he has good footwork, he has good hand speed. Why not accentuate that and put him in a position to do it better?
Yeah, they basically described it as being a combination of playing to the strengths that Moore brought into boxing as a former collegiate athlete, and then also working on his IQ at the same time.
Yeah. A guy like Savage, I mean, look, like I said earlier, he weighed 293 pounds. He's a big, strong guy. And you got to work him. You got to bring him down. You got to, you know, chop him down as the rounds go. And I think that's what Moore's plan is to do. You see him touch him with the jab and trying to set up the right hand. There's no reason for him to take risks this early in the fight and get close to him. He needs to control that range at mid-long range. I think he's doing a good job of doing it so far.
Now, from Savage's standpoint, he feels one punch can turn this fight at any time. And while you can't just wait for it to happen, he does feel like he has that in his toolkit. We'll see.
Savage looking for that left hook over the top. Savage has had some great sparring in recent years against some of the top heavyweights in the world. Names like Jarrell Miller and Andy Ruiz, Frank Sanchez.
And he feels he learned a lot during those sparring sessions.
Oh yeah, that's a great confidence builder. You know, being around those guys and sparring with those guys, you get better, you learn better. You want to be like those guys. Sticking out his tongue. that means, you know, he didn't like that jab, you know, because Moore keeps popping that jab in his face, you know, whether it's a hard jab or just a touching jab, just a blinding jab.
Savage just missing with that left hook. Looked like it connected a little bit, more of a slapping shot there. Savage might have found something useful for him in this opening round. The more nimble Brandon Moore looking good here in the early going. As we head back to the corners. Round 2 underway. Our main event between Brandon Moore and DeAndre Savage. Moments for both men in the opening round, but Brandon Moore doing what he said he intended to do here tonight, be a little bit more mobile, working off his jab, and that jab has been very, very busy.
Yeah, he's really using that jab. That's his main weapon, that jab. You know, he's got long arms, and he uses it very well to set up his big right hand and his combinations.
You know, Savage admits this is the best opponent he's faced in that overseas tour. Only one of his opponents have actually had a winning record, so he knows this is a big step up for him.
Savage trying to double jab his way in. Again, that sweeping left hook. The smile on the face of Savage.
That's one of the punches Savage hopes can get home and alter this fight in one moment. Moore believed that the movement of Savage, he said he has slow feet. Savage said, I don't. You know, in my previous athletic work, I haven't shown slow feet. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We'll see.
Moore was even meaner than that. He described Savage as being big and sloppy.
Yeah, I cleaned it up a little bit.
Yes, he did, yeah.
Sorry.
He's popping that jab in his face. That 1-2, you know, he needs to come back with a 1-2 hook. 1-2 is not going to be enough. Jab, lead, hook, lead.
But this fight certainly emitting, Al, that kind of nervous tension that you get in heavyweight fights with men this size, where you feel like the next significant shot could be the end of the fight.
Yeah.
We felt it in the last fight with Stanley Wright that Moore was in, and we feel it here tonight as well.
Jab to the body there for Moore, now brings it up top.
It is always interesting when you see a fighter commit to a game plan and just understand it's important, and his use of the jab is exactly that for Brandon Moore.
I think so far Brandon Moore's following his game plan. DeAndre Savage, I thought he would apply more pressure by now. You know, it's only the second round, but I want to see him come even, you know, come forward more and close that distance and throw to the body, and he's waiting a lot. I don't know.
He's winning the rounds, though.
The two warriors collide as Virgil Ortiz defends his WBC interim super welterweight title against the Hammer Erickson Lubin, live from Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, Saturday, November 8th, only on DAZN. Round 3 underway. Very composed start to this fight here for Brandon Moore.
He said that his loss to Richard Torres, who of course is still an undefeated young heavyweight prospect, taught him that boxing's a thinking game, and that sometimes athletic ability. Oh, there's that hook by Savage. We've been waiting to see if that would land.
That's been the danger shot for Savage thus far.
What, man, Savage? That was a wild. He opened up and it landed. It was fast and explosive.
Well, he's pinning his hopes on that punch. You can feel it. That's what he's been throwing most of this fight, as a power punch.
Back to the point you were making earlier, Al. You know, Moore felt, as you mentioned, that Torres fight taught him that this is a thinking man's sport, and as much as he laments that loss, he's also thankful for it, for helping him realize where he had to grow as a fighter.
And I think tonight he's showing some aspects of that, however this fight goes.
Yeah, he's definitely being very patient. You know, when he got caught by that left hook from Savage, you know, he still took his time. He's still jabbing. It looks like Savage is trying to set him up for that left hook.
Now, it's worth noting, since we're in the 3rd round and Savage just landed something of significance, Savage has never been past this point in a fight. So we'll see how it all goes from here.
Well, you also wonder if that's in the back of Moore's mind, if he wouldn't mind taking him beyond the areas where he's been in the past. He's not been into round 4.
Precisely.
I think that is his plan, to take him into deeper water, you know, in the second half of the fight. I'm hoping that Moore, I think that he's going to turn it up more, unless he continues to fight this kind of pace.
Inside the final minute here of round 3. See Moore starting to introduce that left hook. Hasn't yet landed with that shot.
Savage believes the difference in this fight is that he said, I have the killer instinct. I can get that knockout, and we're going to find out.
Oh, there's a right hand.
Not paying attention, listening to somebody, his corner or something. I don't know.
That was odd.
He got hit.
See Savage kind of waving with his right hand as if to say, no, I'm okay, don't worry. Certainly don't want to take too many of those right hands from Brandon Moore as we enter the final 10 seconds here of round 3. Savage trying to land his own right hand to the body. And one more jab downstairs from Brandon Moore as we wrap up the round.
There we see that big left hook. It landed one time. Don't want to make sure it doesn't land again. But we see Brandon Moore touching him with the jab, and then, you know, he comes back to 1-2 when he got careless there. Savage talking to somebody in the crowd in the corner. I mean, I think the first 3 rounds has been, you know, just more controlling the range, controlling the distance with the long jab and the 1-2. Like he said he would. I'm hoping he picks up the pace more as the rounds go. Savage never been past 3 rounds, like you said, Al.
Back to action here in our main event, round 4, scheduled for 10. Brandon Moore and DeAndre Savage. Savage taking a little bit of a different posture here in this round, maybe thinking about, Raul, advancing forward a little bit more like you were suggesting.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting from the beginning, you know, for him to, he's like big dude, 293. use your body, come forward, you know, behind a fast jab, head movement on his way, like he's doing right now. Maybe if he would have started like that early on, he would have been already closer to Moore, close that distance faster, worn him out more. I think he gave him 3 rounds already, in my opinion.
Maybe he can draw on his experience of good right hand. Good shot there from Brandon Moore. I was going to suggest, Raul, he could draw from his experience of impersonating Mike Tyson as he was sparring Jake Paul as he was preparing for that fight.
Yeah, you know, he's got to be fat. You know, that's only one Mike Tyson, but maybe an older Mike Tyson. But, you know, if he could be faster on his feet, a lot of movement on his waist, and, you know, cut that distance, kind of like Mike Tyson used to do it, but he's not. You know, he does it in spurts.
You know, when the Stanley Wright fight, the last fight for Moore, it was similar to this one. In this part of the fight, he started finding that right hand, the range for it a little bit against a bigger opponent who had some defensive liabilities.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, it was that sweeping left hook he brought behind it out that put Wright down and nearly out in that fight also.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that punch landed very well.
Good chopping right hand there for Moore.
I'm waiting for Moore. I think he's trying to lure him in. Moore's going to land the right hand and come back with a left hook. That's what he told me he was going to drop him with, so I'm still waiting for the left hook. And it's there. The left hook is there because you see Savage is dropping his lead hand. He's dropping it. So
yeah, it's an injustice actually think Moore, you know, I mentioned the right hand, but it's an injustice to think that's the only weapon he has because he can land that hook very well.
Oh, that's what
right hand again. And these jabs from Moore are getting
working.
heavier as well.
Yeah, it's working. And even if it's not a hard jab, you know, it's still blinding Savage. You know, look how he paused with the jab, and then he lets that. He's explosive with the right hand. He's gonna turn over the right hook here pretty soon.
It's a dominant round for Brandon Moore. The more authoritative round we've seen in the opening 3 rounds. He looks for that left hook.
Yeah, the left hook, yeah.
That'll do it for the round. Excellent one for O.J. Bam.
Moore continuing to use the jab, the trademark of this fight for him, but that helps set up that excellent right hand that kind of wobbled Savage for a moment or two. Double jab, and the right hand comes behind it. That's textbook, of course, and that's a big part of Moore's game plan here this evening.
Round 5 begins. And Raul, this is right around the time when we were talking in the opening of the broadcast that you suggested, okay, maybe time for Moore to start picking it up and see if he can maybe drown DeAndre Savage in these later rounds.
Yeah, I'm going to give him one more round. This is, you know, you're right. It's about the time, but maybe, you know, he's either going to do it now or in the 6th round. We'll be able to tell if he is going to pick it up or he's going to be just content from picking them apart from the outside and not, you know, putting more pressure, putting more combinations together and trying to get the knockout win. You know, like you're at this level and not to put any pressure on Brandon Moore, but like I said, if he wants to get that respect and show that he's a, you know, top 10, 15 type of guy, go for the knockout. What do you think, Al?
Yeah, well, of course, he wants to do that from a marketing standpoint, and from Savage's standpoint, he can now say he went 4 rounds, took a big right hand from Moore there, and will the power of Savage still remain viable as these rounds continue?
Savage taking these right hands well. These are flush shots.
Absolutely.
From Brandon Moore, and you saw the expression on Moore's face about 30 seconds ago after he landed one of those, like, oh, okay, I guess you can take that.
Yeah. Well, you just keep picking him apart like that. Keep landing more right hands. I'm still waiting for his left hook. I'm still waiting for his right hand left hook, which is there because if you see Savage, every now and then he drops his right hand there. He just dropped it again. It's got to be fast and explosive. We know boxing is the punches you don't see. You know, it's got to be with power.
Big right hand there from Moore. This is becoming target practice for Moore, who cannot miss with the jab. Right now, Savage just absorbing jabs.
Yeah, the offensive output from Savage is very minimal, and he's going to have to do something offensively to change the dynamic in this fight. I know he thinks one punch could change everything, but you have to throw in order to make that happen.
Yeah, and Moore just doing enough to get out of the line of fire. You know, he throws that jab and he moves to the right a little bit or moves to the left. Never really in front of Savage, which is a good thing. You know, he's fighting smart. He keeps circling around him. Just missed there with that 1-2 left hook that I was looking for.
Savage rolling with that shot just enough to take the sting off of it. 15 seconds remaining here in round 5. There's the left hook there from Moore, connecting on the top of the head of DeAndre Savage. Back to that heavy ramrod jab.
There we go.
Big left hook from Brandon Moore. That may be the final word of the round.
Here we see Moore controlling the range. Look at that, popping that jab. Big right hand there by Moore. It's kind of been the story of the fight. The jab and the right hand. Misses there with the left hook. I'm still looking for that left hook. I want him to lure him in with the right hand. Maybe throw the left hook to the body next time. You know, change it up. Go to the body, go to the body. Make him think you're going to go to the body, then come back over the top.
Round 6 begins. And DeAndre Savage has yet to get out of first gear, really, in this fight. He had a couple of moments early in the bout with that sweeping left hook, but it has been one-way traffic from Brandon Moore for the last several rounds.
So you very eloquently explained the importance of this fight to DeAndre Savage and what it means to him, to his family, and he's going to have to do something offensive to make that happen. He's going to have to try to pull his way in and land something of note like those hooks.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he can't win this fight from the outside like that. I mean, he's going to get picked apart. Moore just needs to pick up his pace more, you know, more punches and bunches, more combinations to frustrate Savage.
And I know Savage is not by nature a jabber, but that punch has been completely dormant in this fight for him, and it would help neutralize to some degree the Moore jab.
Hard right hand right down the pipe from Brandon Moore.
I still think Moore's a little bit off distance. You got to just get a little bit closer, get more leverage on that right hand.
One of the things that obviously by the weight loss and the way they wanted him to attack, though, the movement of Moore has been just enough to give angles that has made it impossible for Savage to really do much offensively, and that, of course, was the goal here.
Yeah, that little subtle movement from Moore to the, to the left, even to the right at times. It puts Savage out of balance. It puts him in uncomfortable situations like where he can't really, it seems like he can't punch, he can't get the right punch going.
About 30 seconds here of round 6. Just a jabbing festival here from Brandon Moore.
Even that one left hook, or there's another one that Savage threw. At least it's an attempt at offense on his part.
About 10 seconds of the round.
So that's going to do it for that round, as Brandon Moore continues to give us exactly a repeat of every round in the first 6 of the fight.
Yeah, you're right, Al. I mean, definitely the jab, Brandon Moore's jab has dictated the pace of the fight, and you know, the big right hand there, nice big right hand. But with power, but you know, Savage is taking those big shots very well. He's a big, strong guy, showing a very durable chin so far. But there you see Moore dominated with his speed and his jab.
We head into round number 7 in this heavyweight encounter. Some didn't think it would go this long for sure. That man, DeAndre Savage, has never been to this round before. The 3rd was as far as he got. He's still here, even though clearly this fight is not going the way he would want against Brandon Moore.
Yeah, he's definitely not throwing enough punches. As a matter of fact, he ain't throwing much punches. He's more, I mean, should we call it like survival mode? Because he you know, he just, I mean, this is a guy that, I mean, he promised a knockout, you know, because he's been knocking everybody out. He wanted to keep that kill streak going, but this is definitely a learning experience for Savage, you know, who's 10-0 with 10 knockouts. Never been in this territory right here, never.
Big overhand right momentarily by Savage.
See Savage starting to advance forward a little more here. Good right hand connects from Savage. Big left hook there from Moore.
This is as close as we've come to two-way action in this fight. For a brief shining moment in any case.
Yeah, I think by Savage coming forward and willing to take, you know, risks is opening up spots for Moore, because he's landed some, you know, good right hand, left hook. He also got caught by Savage, but...
Well, that's the point now. From DeAndre Savage's viewpoint in this fight, he's closing the distance, and no matter what happens, that's beneficial for him, because at least gives him an opportunity to do something in this fight.
Well, and the Savage cheering section, so to speak, is seated behind us, and they have been begging him to come alive for several rounds now.
Watch that swooping left hook by Savage. If it lands, it could hurt you.
And there were 2 jabs by Savage. I mentioned earlier that his punch has been dormant, but he takes a right hand for his troubles.
Savage absorbing a lot of punishment here.
Moore's got to keep working here. He's got to keep throwing those combinations.
Right hand to the body. Listen, this is one of the realities of heavyweight boxing. For Brandon Moore, sometimes you get one of these big body heavyweights in front of you that can just absorb all of your best stuff. Oh, there are the legs of DeAndre Savage. I spoke too soon. One too many right hands. Lots of time for Brandon Moore to work with here. One final right hand, and he now has his man hurt with a handful of rounds to go.
The right hand of Brandon Moore has been a terrific weapon. Of course, he will, with even a pawing jab, that was enough to make it happen. And that particular right hand landed very, very well. And a combination of Savage being in a position he's never been in and a round he's never seen, maybe combined to make that right hand more special than the others, but was delivered perfectly by Moore.
Brandon Moore was promising a knockout, and he now has DeAndre Savage on the floor. Three rounds to work with for Brandon Moore here. We'll see if Savage has recovered from that knockdown in the closing seconds of the round, and he just ate another titanic right hand from Brandon Moore.
That's exactly what Moore has to do, you know, keep that momentum going. He hurt him. I think he's hurt him again.
He certainly has. The legs wobbled underneath DeAndre Savage. Big right hand again, the mouth wide open on Savage. Moore looking to line him up for another right hand. He connects once more.
And interesting that he's mixing in some body shots more, which is a smart idea as well.
This is where Moore needs to set up that left hook, turn it over, chop it right hand down the middle, and then that left hook. Oh, there, just missed.
He tried.
Yeah. It was a home run shot. In the shadow of Comerica Park across the street. Here for Brandon Moore.
Most people didn't expect us to even be in the 8th round of this fight, but in this round, Moore is providing fireworks that we thought could come, you know, possibly from either man.
Another long-range right hand there for Moore. I don't know that either of these men thought that we would be in this round.
Oh, they didn't.
Uh-oh. Gotta get a little bit closer. Oh, he's hurt there.
Hard body shot from Moore. Savage felt that one. Still enough head movement to get out of the way of that left hook. Almost an acknowledgement on the face of Brandon Moore of the toughness of DeAndre Savage there. We're inside the final minute of round 8.
He has shown Savage some real grit and determination, you know, in these later rounds, even though he's been down, to hang in there. Unfortunately for him, nothing offensive has happened.
Another big right hand from Moore, a dazed look in the eyes of Savage.
Man, look at Savage's eyes, they look.
Final 20 seconds.
It's remarkable that Savage has gotten through this round so far to this point.
Seconds tick away here. 2 rounds remaining in our main event. And we'll head back to the corners. And Raul, in your opinion, is there a conversation that needs to be had in the Savage corner about potentially stopping this, given what you saw? Or do you give him a shot with 6 minutes left and that kind of power?
I don't give Savage a shot. I mean, he's been hurt a couple. I feel like, honestly, I feel, Corey, like he's out on his feet. At times he looks like he's out on his feet. He might be dazed. He might be walking. That happens, you know. Fighters being out on their feet. Look at that glossy look. I mean, I don't even know if he's paying attention. He doesn't look right to me.
I don't know what else to say, Sam, but it's war in the mode right here, man. It's time to go to war. You gotta go to war.
6 minutes remain here in our main event. Savage corner telling him, you have to go to war now.
They should do something about the tape that's dangling.
I was about to say
right
it,
hand.
It's just been dangling for
'cause that's a
several rounds
danger.
now.
It's been
Yeah.
bothering me for a couple of rounds.
Well, it's a danger. There's a reason why you take that off so it doesn't hurt the other fighter. Very befuddling that the referee doesn't do something about that.
You know, Al, going back to the punishment that we've been talking about, it's been really piling up here for DeAndre Savage. It isn't just these right hands, it's not just a knockdown, it's this jab that has been landing flush for
Yes.
9 rounds now.
Yeah, that punch is, he's used it in a variety of ways, obviously. Sometimes a pulling jab like we just see there. Oftentimes, big right
boy,
again.
what a right hand.
Oftentimes, a good punch to set up the right, and sometimes an offensive weapon on its own. And ironically, those were the 2 best jabs that Savage has thrown in the fight.
Brief sign of life there for Savage as he offers up one of those left hooks that looked like they could have been a danger in the opening 2 or 3 rounds. But back comes Moore, starting to put some combinations together.
He's got him in trouble again, and fatigue is also an issue here for Savage.
For sure. But this is where, Brandon Moore needs to jump on him and take advantage and just take a little bit more risk, I know he's got the fight won, but I still think he could get him out of there, get the knockout that I think he should get.
If he wants to please Raul Marquez, he'll do it, right? Which is what we all aspire to do, right?
High standards of El Diamante. We all reach for them.
This is where you think about, when you're on the heavy bag and you're doing speed drills, after you do sparring, you're doing speed drills, you're doing flurries, you're doing hard punches 30 seconds and speed drills 30 seconds. This is where he's got to try it.
A place to apply it in a fight.
Exactly, yeah. And maybe I'm asking for too much, man. I don't know.
Well, look, obviously he would like to get the stoppage here himself, for sure.
Yeah.
There have been so many times when he's been hurt, Savage, we thought he was going to go down again.
Right hand to the body there from Moore. And very unexpectedly, we will head towards the 10th and final round.
Go figure.
My cousin, you're my cousin. There's no choice. It's him right here. It's the kid. Hold him in, there. Come out, come around. Attack.
Tenth and final round of this heavyweight battle between Brandon Moore and DeAndre Savage. No one, including the participants, thought that we would enter this round, but here we are. DeAndre Savage has been on the mat once, but otherwise has been able to absorb just an avalanche of power shots all night long from Brandon Moore.
And when you have a fight like this with the repetitive nature of every round being exactly the same, you're looking for nuances and differences, and Moore is kind of giving us a little bit of that right this second, trying to put his punches together to see if he can create that kind of stoppage.
That's what I'm talking about. Look, he's touching, then land the home run, then touch again, land the home run. Keep that. He's got a good rhythm going in this round. They never fixed that tape, Al.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident that we will never see the point where the tape actually gets handled in this fight on the hand of DeAndre Savage. I'm not optimistic.
And I guess the question now, Al, for Brandon Moore, you know, you mentioned the repetitive nature of some of these rounds, is do you just sort of copy and paste that round here this round, or as Raul's suggesting, do you try to go speed drill on the heavy bag and try and get Savage out of here in a different way?
I think the problem is you don't really know if there's still danger with Savage.
Yes,
there probably isn't, but you know, you're Brandon Moore and you're doing these things and you're doing them correctly. You know, you want that knockout to come organically from what you're doing, and it has created a knockdown and it has hurt Savage on many occasions.
Final minute of the contest. Big right hand again, right down the pipe. Somehow, even after that knockdown in round 7, Savage, he's almost taking these shots better in the 10th and final round.
You know, one of the things we didn't mention is that Moore has never been 10 rounds, and he's been 8 rounds before, so this is new territory for him, and he's navigating it for the first time as well.
Hey, it's a new experience. 10 rounds with the guy that took all his shots.
No, it's a good point, Raul. You know, we're talking about this as if the referendum is, did you get a knockout or not? But ultimately, this could be a 100-90 decision over an undefeated knockout artist.
Yeah.
There's another way to put this. Good body shot there from Moore, and that'll be it.
Dominated.
And Brandon Moore went 10 rounds for the very first time and controlled the fight completely.
A lot of trash talk between these two men all fight week, but now, show of respect, albeit briefly.
That's the best thing about boxing, how you see them talk noise to each other, then they're, you know, the respect, man.
Mike Perry, the face of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, defends his King of Violence title against Jeremy Stevens. Plus, former UFC lightweight champion Frankie Edgar makes his BKFC debut. And Christine Ferreira fights featherweight champion Jessica Borga for the inaugural BKFC Queen of Violence Championship. That's October 4th at the Prudential Center in Newark and live on DAZN pay-per-view. So Brandon Moore, a thoroughly dominant performance here tonight, hoping that this will be enough to enter him into the world rankings, where he can maybe start targeting some of the bigger names in the division. Didn't get the knockout, but certainly learned some other lessons like we were talking about here tonight.
Got the experience, you know, find a guy that's, hey, look, he was a knockout artist, no matter who he knocked out, but he still got some power, and, you know, and he was a dangerous guy. You saw every time he threw that sweeping left hook, and, you know, it looked like it came with everything, and it could have hurt Moore, and it might have rocked him a little bit when he caught him, you know, but he's going to learn from this. Like every fight, every fight you get better, you learn. It's a good experience for Brandon Moore. There we see the sportsmanship now, you know, they
But again, one of the storylines with Moore, and something he was very proud of, is his level of fitness coming into this, right? Dropping close to 30 pounds. And
he was lighter on his feet. Right. He was faster.
Right. And
a lot of movement. He was in shape because, I don't know if you heard, they said the Stanley Wright fight, I don't know if they told you, but at the time of the stoppage, he was dead tired. He was really tired.
Yeah, certainly not the case here tonight. And it looks like we are ready to make this one official as we send it back up to Mr. Throwdown.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put a big round of applause together for both of the fighters in the center of the ring. After 10 rounds of heavyweight action, we read the judges' scorecards. Judge Palmer scores the matchup 100-89. Judge Santino scores it 99-90. And Judge White scores the matchup 100-89, all for your winner by unanimous decision, Brandon O.J. Bam Moore.
So as expected, wide scores in favor of Brandon Moore, your winner by unanimous decision, 100-89 twice and 99-90 for O.J. Bam, who's standing by with Al Bernstein.